All right, welcome back to In the Garage, where we're going to be working on this fender and fixing some of the rust in it. We need to do all of our metal work before we do our 415 and all that stuff. It's going to have to be done to this fender, just like the majority of the rest of the car. So what I'm going to do is let you sit there and watch while I finish weld this panel in. Ladies and gentlemen, turn this fan on so I ain't having to talk, or turn it off so I ain't having to talk so loud. There we go. All right, so got the fender, everything off. We've got it laid up on the sawhorse, and we've got the lower panel of rust cut out of it. Oh, this piece right here. Turn you around this way. So we got that cut out. I'll spin you around, take a look at what we got. All right, I've got my new patch panel measured, cut, laid in place, and tacked in place, and pretty happy with the curve, and pretty happy with the way it lines up here. Lined up pretty good on the bottom. We just drilled some holes through it and put some spot welds. Pretty happy with the overall shape. Now what we've got to do is we've got to weld it in solid without warping it. And there's a couple of techniques to do to keep the warping down to a minimum. There's no way in the world you're going to stop it, but you want to keep it down to a minimum. So what we'll do is we're going to use tack welds. We're going to move our location around in between each weld, and we're going to blow off each weld with air. And that's the best way that I have found to keep warping to a minimum. If you can keep from concentrating a lot of heat in a single area, then you're going to minimize the heat. That's why we're going to move around. That's why we're going to blow it off with air. Also, that's why we're not just going to lay a single bead of weld all the way across it, because that's way too much heat, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to see if I can set you up, and we'll watch it. See if we can get this thing welded in. It's going to suck because I'm wearing shorts because it's 187 degrees out here, but just have to suck it up. All right, we're going to be moving around. What we're going to do is we just want to build off each one of our spot welds until we fully get it welded. Just moving each spot weld out further and further. Until we get the whole thing welded. Welding this thin sheet metal up here is really hard because you ain't careful, you start blowing holes and then you get shaking holes everywhere. So you just bump it. What I'm going to do is clean some of that gassing off some of the metal so I can get a better weld with our brush. Remove these butt weld clamps and I'll explain what these are in a minute. Get to the rest of the area we have welded yet. Now that we have plenty of weld there, we don't have to worry about that seam moving tight. All right. I said earlier in the video I was going to show you what these butt weld clamps what they are. And they're really simple but ingenious. This is what they are. So let me see if I can. What they do is, see this little piece right here? This will go down in between the edges of two separate pieces of sheet metal. And then you'll have this little piece right here, just a square, looks like keyway to me, 1/4 inch key. And it will go through the hole of that thing like that. This has a hole all the way through it. And so this key will be beneath the metal, and then you just tighten up your butterfly, and that pulls that key up against the bottom of the two pieces of sheet metal. And then the edge here and the edge by my thumb will clamp those two pieces together while that key holds pressure and keeps your sheet metal, your butt weld, even, so that your one side is not higher than the other, or vice versa. But anyway, I told you I would explain what those things are, and they're cheap as they can be. I think they're probably about $1 a piece at Harbor Freight. Anyway, that is got to try to fill up without getting too hot. Just like that. Find that out, that's probably going to become a hole again. Alright, we've got the majority of it welded up. I'm going to pause you right here and I'll grind it off, bring you back when we get it ground off. So there we go. Let me get out of the way over here. Alright, we're all welded in. We got very little warpage, which I'm very happy about. We got everything beat into shape. We got our spot welds done over here. I'll go back and I'll drill holes, probably about 4, and weld that to the inner support structure. And that, I believe, is going to call it for today's video. I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad you hung around and watched. Always glad to hear you or hear from you. I want to see your comments. Share it, like it, subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one.